We're back live, prepping you for another baseball matchup from the history of the game. Two teams randomly drawn to face off each other in the best-of-7 series. This is our first team, the 1923 Washington Senators, who were 3 games under 500 in 1923. They finished 4th in the American League, led by Donnie Bush. This team has some star power. Sam Rice on this team hit .316 with 20 steals, 75 RBIs. Goose Goslin, another star who hit .300, had 180 hits, 99 RBIs. Roger Peckinpah was a good player. Joe Judge, a very good first baseman. Muddy Rule. So the lineup, very good in Washington at this time of their history. They would actually win the World Series a couple years later. And on the hill, at 35 years old, you see there Walter Johnson, the Hall of Famer, still able to get the job done for the most part with his ERA at 3.48, if not as dominant as before, but very good. George Mogridge, Tom Zachary, some other stars on this team. Really a team that I'm a little bit surprised were under 500. They really had a lot of talent, and I think they would play a little bit better, but maybe the pitching was a little thin. Either way, we can expect an exciting series with a lot of stars, and hopefully the golden arm of Walter Johnson can give us some good moments, and we'll see how that goes. But who are they matched up against? The 1996 New York Mets, a much more modern team, led by Dallas Green or Bobby Valentine. I think Green was fired later in the same year. They did lose 91 games. They were 20 games under 500, although their Pythagorean record was much better. On this team, you'll recognize maybe Jeff Kent, who didn't play all that much. He had much of the year he was hurt, but he obviously is talented. Lance Johnson, Ray Ordonez, Bernard Gilkey, with the 30 homers, and Todd Hundley hit 41 homers from the catcher spot, 112 RBIs. Quite a outliner year for Hundley. Edgardo Alonso and Carl Everett on the bench. So some depth and talent for this team, but I think some of their issues definitely were in the pitching side. Mark Clark, their best starter. But other than that, Bobby Jones, Pete Harnisch, Jason Isringhausen, not very good. High ERAs, and a 35-year-old Jose Franco was pretty dominant as the closer if the games got that far. So the Mets with some pitching issues. They're playing at the old Shea Stadium still, and we'll see how they fare against a very good Washington offense. So Washington might be licking their chops going into this one. It's a best-of-7. The Senators obviously the home field advantage, so they'll get the first 2, and then we'll move out to Shea and bring it back if we need to. The opener is going to bring out Walter Johnson, who is obviously going to be interesting to watch as he's 35 and taking the hill against Mark Clark at Griffith Stadium for the opening game. Should be interesting. Best-of-7 series, and the favorites the Senators, but not like they were a dominant team. We'll see what the Mets can do, and maybe we'll have some fun with this one. So let's take our focus now to Game 1, where we go to Griffith Stadium to get the series started. So we'll take you out to the action, live from Griffith Stadium. Checking out the views as usual to see what's best for us and take the wide camera. Top of the 3rd inning with Lance Johnson up there against Walter Johnson. We got no score in this one. One dog goes deep to center. This one will go all the way to the wall. So Johnson's going to round first. He's coming into second. Johnson heading to third. Lance Johnson beats the throw, and he was a master at the triple. Johnson with a triple here in the 3rd inning off of Walter Johnson. And here's Alex Ochoa with a chance to drive in a run. Ochoa will hit this one to short. The runner moving. The run will be conceded. And Peckinpah makes the play, but it's 1-0 Mets as they break the seal here first in the series. And we move to the bottom of the 5th with Mark Clark pitching well. Now up there is Nemo Leibold with nobody out in the 5th. Lebo will shoot this one in the left for a single. So he's on there with Ozzie Plug at the plate. Plug will watch strike three as he keeps the bat on his shoulder. And there's one out now for Peckinpah. The shortstop. Peckinpah lines this one to short. Play is made at second, relay to first, and a quick, nice double play. Bogar, Viagra, and then the first as the Mets get out of that threat, and they hold the 1-0 lead. We'll move to the sixth, where Butch Heskey is facing Walter Johnson. And this one's lined to right. This will go all the way to the corner and to the deepest part of the outfield there. And Heskey is going to go ahead and move into third, so he gets a triple. Another triple for the Mets as they lead off the sixth here against Walter Johnson. This will be a huge win for them. They can beat the Washington Ace. Here's Gardo Alonso. The field is in, and Alonso will get the job done. He goes to the same spot as Heskey. A double. That's going to increase the Met lead to 2-0. So Alonso comes through. And we're moving now to the bottom of the seventh. It's 3-0 Mets. Mark Clark still in there. Goose Goslin at the plate with nobody out and a man on. He goes with the pitch and drives it to center. Runner was moving. Here's a throw to third. It's going to be late. And these Senators finally putting something together. They got runners on the corners with nobody out. Here's Muddy Rule. The field's in. Runner going. The runner on the move, so they'll only have one play at first. So we got second and third here with one out for Lebo. Infield still in. Lebo goes deep to right. Catch is made. Here comes the throw. It's going to be a close play, but not in time. The Senators get on the board. It's 3-1 as we move to the eighth. One out. Lance Johnson up there with the pitcher Mark Clark on second, and Johnson with another hit. Clark is going to try to score, and he will. So Lance Johnson re-increases the Mets' lead to 3 runs. 4-1 now is moved to the top of the ninth, and Carlos Baerga up there. Baerga will single to center with nobody out. 12th Met hit, but we'll move to the ninth now. It's bottom of the ninth now. It's 4-1. Closer John Franco on the hill and Joe Judge up there. So Franco delivers, and Judge is going to get some extra bases on this one. He gets in the second with a double. One out double for Judge. Here's Goose Goslin with one out. Goslin with a single to left. This is going to drop in there, and these Senators now, with a one-out rally, they bring the tying run to the plate in Muddy Rule. Rule will hit it up to short, but this could be two. The turn is made, and the Mets close the door. John Franco with the save, and the Mets win Game 1 4-1, beating Washington and Walter Johnson. Mark Clark, excellent for the Mets. He went 8 strong, allowing 4 hits and 1 earned run. Lance Johnson, 4 for 5. A big RBI and scoring 2 runs. Walter Johnson did strike out 8 in his 6 innings of work, but Clark was just too good, and the Mets were just too good as they pull the upset here in Game 1 and get past the Hall of Fame arm of Johnson. So a big hurdle there, a game they were expected to lose. We'll move now to Game 2, where Jason Isringhausen, if you remember him as a reliever, he was a starter for the Mets prior to that role as a closer, which he was very successful at. So Isringhausen is going to face George Mogridge in Game 2 as the Senators, reeling a little bit, will look to rebound and tie the series if they can. Injury here, Monroe Mitchell facing a shoulder problem. He's day-to-day, a pitcher for the Senators. But let's head out to Game 2. Goslin up there, bottom of the first against Isringhausen. 2 men on, 1 out. Goslin will drop this one into left. They send the runner home, and the Senators get out in front here in game 2 on the Goslin RBI single. It's 1-0. Here's Modric facing Tim Bogart at the top of the second with a man on, and this one is drilled down the left field line. This will get down all the way into the corner. Runner around in third is going to tie the game and score. Alonso scores, and Tim Bogart has tied this game at 1. Top of the third with Johnson on first. Here's Bernard Wilkie with only 1 out. Wilkie goes deep to left. This one might have enough. All the way to the wall. It's going to leave Griffith Stadium. 2-run home run for Bernard Wilkie. It's 3-1 now. Mets, as they continue to play very well so far in this series. Bottom of the third, Sam Rice now against Isringhausen. And Rice will go the other way for a single. Run around in third. He's going to try to score. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. RBI single as Rice gets his team the help they need as they cut the lead now to 3-2. Here comes Joe Judge. Same inning. Judge will line it to right. Pulls a single. And with nobody out still, the Senators making a move here against Isringhausen. Here's a Goslin. Goslin will hit a shot. This will get through to the outfield. Bases loaded now for the Senators here in the third inning. Muddy Rule's at the plate. It's a 3-2 game. And Rule goes to center. This one's going to carry out there. Play is going to be made by Johnson, but no chance to get the lead runner. We got a tie ball game. It's 3-3 on the sacrifice fly. And here's Nemo Leibold with 1 out. Leibold will hit it to short. Play's made the short way back to first. And it is not a double play. Or, I'm sorry, it is a double play, so that'll end the frame. But the Senators tie the game at 3. We'll move to the fourth now where Carlos Baerga's up there. Lead off the inning, and Baerga goes way back to left. This one's going to leave the yard with plenty to spare. Baerga destroys that baseball 428 feet and just pops the Mets back out in front 4-3. We'll move to the seventh now with Sam Rice up there and 2 outs. Man on. Isringhausen still in the game. Rice is going to get a single here. Runner moving the third. Throw is going to be late. So here come the Senators. Runners on the corners. Go Judge at the plate. Judge cannot hold up there. He strikes out. Senators didn't like that call, but it didn't matter. It is the umpire's final say, and we'll move to the 8th now in this 4-3 game. Alex Ochoa at the plate. Monroe Mitchell on the mound. And this one's hit into the right field corner. It's going to be extra bases. Throw to second's going to be late. And Ochoa with a double. But Monroe Mitchell, the pitcher, is hurt on the play. And he's going to have to leave. We mentioned that earlier. He's been having some shoulder issues. So Purple Marbury's the man on now with 2 on and only 1 out. Heskey's at the plate. And Heskey's going to hit it to center. This should be playable. It's caught out there by Leibold. So here's Baerga, who homered earlier. 2 on. Baerga goes up the middle. This will get through. Will they send the runner? They will. And the Mets add another run here. Baerga with a single that scores a run, and it's 5-3 now. Some insurance. We'll move to the bottom of the 8th with Leibold up there. Leibold will line a single up the middle with 2 outs. So Doug Henry on there now facing Ozzie Bluge. See what Bluge can do. He takes ball 4, so the Mets in a little bit of trouble here as the Senators try to come back in this crucial game. Roger Peckinpah at the plate. Peck second foul goes to right, but this should be playable, and it will be. Ochoa makes the play. We move to the ninth. Mets leading 5-3. Here's Tim Bogar facing Tom Zachary in the ninth. This is going to be hit up the middle for a single. Another hit for Bogar, who drove in a run earlier. We'll move to the bottom of the ninth as Franco's coming again to try to close the doors he did in game one. Patsy Garrity's the hitter to lead off the inning. This is hit into center. That's going to be a very tough play. Here comes Johnson with a wonderful play. The one dog makes a great catch in center field. 2 outs now for Sam Rice.
Strike 3.
And Sam Rice looks at strike 3, and the Mets win again. The 1996 New York Mets have really surprised everybody here. They've come out very strong on the road, winning both games. This one's 5-3. Isringhausen was good in his 7 innings of work. Gilkey with a home run and an RBI, or 2 RBIs, and Carlos Baerga with a long home run and 2 RBIs. So John Franco has 2 saves. The Mets are looking really good. They won 2 close ones, but they'll take them both. And now they have every opportunity in the world as the series goes back to, or actually for the first time, goes to New York with the Mets up 2-0. And Bobby Jones will be taking the mound for New York as Paul Zaniser, I think that's how you pronounce it, is the pitcher for the Senators. Senators really need a win, and Zanister is the man that's going to be on the spot here, or else the Mets are going to keep surprising and put this series into a real chance for a quick ending. But let's see what happens. We move to Shea Stadium. So a nice evening here at Shea Stadium. Top of the second inning with 2 on. Ozzie Bluge up there facing Bobby Jones. And this one's hit on a liner to first base. Husky is there to make the catch. So we move to now the top of the third with Paul Zanister facing Bobby Jones. Zanister will hit a extra base hit to left center. He'll make it to second with a double. Sam Rice at the plate. Runner on third. Rice will hit it back up the middle. That ball will get through, so that's a base hit. Senators get on the board here first in game 3, 1-0. Here's Zanister again with 2 on and 2 out. And that's going to be a base hit to right field. Runner's going to try to score. Here's a close play at the plate. He is safe. Zanister with a single. It's 2-0 Washington as they move now all the way to the 9th inning, leading 6-2. 11 hits in their effort. They're 2 outs, and Edgardo Alfonso at the plate. Zanister on the mound. He's going for the complete game. This is hit to third, throw to first, and that'll do it. Luge makes the play. And the Senators won this one 6-2 to get back into the series. It's their first win here, and the road team has won every game. As the Senators win a quick game here, an efficient game at Shea Stadium, and Paul Zaniser did it with the bat, did it with the arm as he went the distance for a complete game, 5 strikeout effort. He allowed 5 hits and 2 earned runs. Also drove in a run with a hit. Sam Rice was 2 for 4 with an RBI, and Bobby Jones for the Mets was the loser, allowing 3 earned runs in 5 innings of work. So the series now is 2-1 in favor of the Mets still as we move to game 4. A crucial, important win by the Senators. And game number 4 is going to feature Cy Warmoth for the Senators against Paul Wilson for the Mets, as the Mets try to win their 3rd game of the series and move things to the brink, while the Senators look for the momentum of game 3 to continue and even the series. So a crucial game 4 awaits us, coming up from Shea. So we're back at Shea. We are in the top of the 5th in a scoreless duel here with only 4 hits combined by both sides. And Cy Warmoth up there against Paul Wilson. Warmoth will hit this one right in front of the mound. It's going to be a tough play, and it is made. But the runner's safe, and an infield hit for Warmoth. Tough play there, and Wilson didn't help himself on that play. Here's Bucky Harris with 2 outs and 2 on. And Harris swings through that one, and Wilson got him to end the threat. So Washington comes up empty. We'll move to the 6th now. Again, runner on second, 2 outs. Opportunity here for the Senators. Muddy Rule at the plate. Rule goes the other way. That'll get down. That's going to be a base hit. Here comes a runner holding at third. So 1st and 3rd now for the Senators. And Nemo Leibold up there trying to break the tie. Leibold looks at strike 3 right at the bottom of the zone on a 2-2 pitch, and Wilson gets out of this inning as well. Leibold throws the bat in disgust. He really didn't like that call at all. Did seem it was a little bit low, but we move on now to the 7th with Peckinpah up there, still 0-0. Peckinpah puts down a bunt. This will be no play, looks like. He beats it at first. Peckinpah with an infield hit on the bunt. Wonderful hustle. Again, more problems for the Mets infield here on the small ball. 1st and 2nd as Warmoth is back up there. Nobody out. Another bunt. Can they get this one? Let's see. Throw to first is in time, but the runners will move on. So 2nd and 3rd now for the Senators here as Bucky Harris is up with the infield in. 1 out. Gary DePito is the new pitcher. That's back to the mound. That'll be easy. So DePito makes the play, and now it's up to Sam Rice here with 2 outs to try to break through. And that's lifted, but lifted too high, and it's going to be playable by the right fielder. Ochoa has it. The Senators strand more runners, and we move to the 7th inning stretch. We are scoreless, and Cy Warmoth has allowed only 1 hit in this one, folks, today. We're already in the 7th inning. Todd Hundley comes up with a man on and 1 out, and this is hit to short. There's going to be a play made there at first. Peckinpah makes the play. So Bernard Gilkey's on second now with Butch Husky at the plate. 2 outs. And there is a strikeout. Husky swings through, and the Mets continue to struggle here. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Monroe Mitchell has come in as a relief pitcher for the Senators. Warmoth allowed 1 hit in this one, but the new pitcher ready to face Tim Bogar with 2 outs here. And Bogar will go to short. There'll be a play made there, and that's going to be in time. So this scoreless game moves to the 9th. Leibold's up there facing now John Franco. Let's bring in their closer. This one's lined to left. It's going to get down. So a base hit here by Leibold. He's the go-ahead run. Let's see what Ozzie Bluge does. Will he put down the bunt? He does. A play to be made. It is made, but the runner will advance. Franco makes the play himself. Leibold on second. Only 1 out. Peckinpah up at the plate. Peckinpah lines a single off Franco up the middle. This will get down. Runner will hold at third. And the Senators threatening again. It's Rip Wade up there as a pinch hitter in a big spot. This is hit to short. Play is made at first, but the run will come in. Leibold scores the only run so far of the game. It's 1-0. We'll move to the bottom of the 9th Alan Russell on to try to close it. Rico Brogna at the plate to lead off the 9th inning. And Brogna gets down the left field line. That's a big way to start the inning. Brogna with a double here. Just the way you want to start it. Only the second Met hit of the day. Here's Lance Johnson. Let's see what the strategy is here. Johnson takes ball 4. So first and second. Johnson with great speed represents the winning run now. Alex Ochoa at the plate. Nobody out. And Ochoa is going to go down the line. That's a fair ball. 1 run's going to score. Here comes Johnson. Johnson's going to hold up at third, and the Mets have tied the game and now are knocking on the door and winning it. Ochoa with a big RBI double, and it is now Bernard Gilkey who has a chance to win it with nobody out and the man on second and third. This is hit on a line to left. It's going to drop, and Lance Johnson comes across to score. The Mets. Yes, the Mets have scored 2 here in the 9th to steal this ball game. They had 1 hit for 8 innings, and they go into the 9th and make a great comeback here, walk-off style with 3 hits in the inning, winning it 2-1. Cy Warmouth and his efforts go spoiled. He allowed 1 hit instead of 7 innings of work. A little bit questionable why he was pulled, but he was. Rico Brogna scored the run there in the 9th. And a great comeback by the Mets. They did it right at the last breath with Bernard Gilkey getting that final single that scored Johnson. And the big double was Alex Ochoa's shot, all coming off Alan Russell in the 9th inning. Just a heartbreaking loss for the Senators. And now they're really in trouble because they fall behind 3-1 instead of tying the series. And Walter Johnson will take the mound for the Senators here in desperation. They need to win 3 in a row now to try to avoid the upset. The Mets will send Mark Clark to the mound, and Shea will be rocking, folks, because the Mets have a chance to close it out. So we are heading out to Shea Stadium. We're scoreless again, another pitching duel. There's been quite a few of them in this series. We're in the 5th inning with Mark Clark at crossroads here with Roger Peckinpah up there. 1 out and a runner on second. Peckinpah will hit this one into right. That's going to get through. Runner's going to round third. He's going to try to score. He will. And the Senators take a 1-0 lead on the Peckinpah single here in the 5th inning. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th with Carlos Baerga breaking up the no-hitter of Walter Johnson. Johnson had gone 4 strong without allowing a hit. But now, Edgardo Alfonso's up there with 2 outs and the man on. And Alfonso drives one deep to left. This one is up against the wall. Alfonso for extra bases. Here comes Baerga around third. Alfonso's going to have a triple, a game-tying triple at that. It is 1-1 as Alfonso is a few feet away from a home run. But he's tied the game now. We got runners on the corners now with the pitcher Mark Clark up there and 2 outs. And Clark lines a shot, but that's going to be caught by the right fielder. Rice has it, so we're tied at 1 as we move now into the bottom of the 6th. Alex Ochoa up there with Lance Johnson on first. Nobody out. And this is hit deep to left. Way back there. Looking up. The outfielders aren't even moving. Home run. Ochoa takes Walter Johnson deep over the left field wall. It is now 3-1. Mets, as they are looking now to close out this series. Bucky Harris at the plate here in the 8th. A 3-1 ball game. The Senators need the rally. There's a base hit up the middle by Harris here in the 8th inning. And Harris is going to hustle all the way to second on that play. Great hustle by Bucky Harris. And here's Sam Rice facing Doug Henry. And Rice goes the other way, or pulls it, I should say. And that's a base hit to right field. So nobody out. Runners on the corners. Joe Judge up there. The Senators with a real chance. This is lined into the gap. On the run is the right fielder. He has it. Ochoa makes the play. A run will score. The Senators will cut the lead 2-1. And here's Goose Goslin up there with one out. Goslin will pop this one up. That'll be easy. Coming in there is Baerga. He has it for out number 2. And here's Muddy Rule there with the tying run on first base. And Rule strikes out. Henry gets him. And that will end the 8th inning. It's now a 1-run game. We'll move to the bottom of the 8th here as Ochoa's at the plate. Johnson's still in the game. Ochoa homered earlier, and he does it again to the big right-hander. A thorn in Johnson's side. Ochoa with a double to lead off the 8th inning here. He's been on point today. And now Bernard Gilkey up at the plate. Gilkey will go to right field. That'll drop in. Ochoa's going to hold the third. Johnson seems to be running out of steam here. And Monroe Mitchell has come in to replace Johnson. And there's a shot down the left field line. Butch Husky with extra bases. This will score a run. It is now 4-2 Mets as they're putting their icing on this game in this series, it would appear. A stand-up double, making it 4-2 as we move now to the top of the 9th. Jerry DePito coming in, 2 outs. Roger Peckinpah, the last man standing. Here's the pitch. This is hit up the middle for a base hit, so the Senators try to stay alive here in the 9th with 2 outs. Joe Evans will represent the tying run. He's the pinch hitter. Evans will line a single to center, so the Senators again putting together a nice rally here with 2 outs. Interesting that John Franco isn't in there, but here's Bucky Harris with the tying runs now on the dish. And this is hit third. The play is made there. Throw to first, and that will do it. The Mets finish off the Senators. They win this one 4-2 and take the series quite easily, 4-1. So you can see there, Mark Clark went 7 strong in the win, and he struck out 3 and only allowed the 1 earned run, beating Walter Johnson, who went 7+ and struck out 6, but couldn't get the win. And Alex Ochoa with the big home run went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. And that is the wrap, as most of the games were close, but the Mets come out on top. They take the first 2 games in Washington, 2 out of 3 at home, only dropping Game 3. Some of the numbers, not the greatest offensive numbers, but Lance Johnson had 8 hits, hit 381. Bernard Gilkey 389 with 3 RBIs. You can see here Paul Wilson went 6 scoreless innings, pretty strong. And Mark Clark, 15 strong, went 2-0 in the series, struck out 7 with a 1.20 ERA. The other side, the offense, again, pretty weak. Goose Goslin hit 400. Roger Peckinpah, 333, but not many runs driven in. No home runs from the Senators, and some of their pitching was strong. Cy Warmouth pitched well in his start. And looking further down, Walter Johnson actually had a rough series. He had an ERA close to 5, only struck out 14, allowed 15 hits in his 13 innings of work. Actually, the strikeout rate's pretty good, but they did hit him hard, especially in Game 1. And the Mets come kind of out of nowhere. We weren't expecting much from them this series, but they sure proved themselves worthy of the series win, doing it in 5 quick games. The game is going to give Bernard Gilkey the MVP, but I'm going to defer a little bit and say my MVP for the series is Mark Clark, the Mets pitcher. He pitched very well in this series. He went 2-0, you can see here, on 15 innings of work. Allowed only 2 earned runs, 7 K, a whip of .73, WAR at .4, ERA plus 333. Clark was really good in the series. He gets my nod as the MVP. But that's a wrap, folks. The 1996 Mets defeat fairly easily the 1923 Washington Senators, 4-1. The Mets are moving on, and we are done with this particular matchup. We're glad you can join us. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying all the matchups on Out of the Park Baseball 20, and we will be back soon for yet another.